الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. وعن أبي هريرة رضي الله عنه قال قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم من نسي وهو صائم فأكل أو شرب فليتم صومه فإنما أطعمه الله وسقاه. So Abu Hurairah reports the Prophet ﷺ said, whoever forgets while fasting, and that means during Ramadan or other than Ramadan. So if he forgets and eats or drinks, let him complete his fast, for it is Allah who has fed him and made him drink. And this is why the majority of the scholars said if someone forgets it during Ramadan, then it is okay to complete the fast and not make up for it, except the Malikiyah said that you have to do qada, right? You have to do qada, and they said the hadith does not say that you don't have to do qada. It said you have to complete the fast, and Allah says وَأَتِمُّوا الصِّيَامَ إِلَى اللَّيْلِ. However, Al-Hakim Jazahullahu khayran narrated a different hadith, and he said من أفطر في رمضان ناسيا فلا قضاء عليه ولا كفارة. So whoever forgets it during Ramadan and violates his fast, forgetting that he was fasting, then there is no makeup for that day, and there is no expiation. He doesn't have to pay the kafara. So the opinion of the Jumhur wins, Allahu A'lam, and this appears to be the practice of Muslims anyway. طيب. وعنه أيضا وعن أبي هريرة قال قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم من ذرعه القيء فلا قضاء عليه ومن استقاء فعليه القضاء. So we're talking about the violators of fasting, and we talked about several of them last time, including the hijama, and we said according to the Jumhur it does not. So now, one of the common controversies, does vomiting violate fasting? So Abu Hurairah said the Prophet ﷺ, whoever vomited involuntarily, meaning forced him out, when he cannot control it, then he doesn't have to make up for it. However, whoever induces the vomiting then the fasting is not valid, and then has to make up for it. And it seems like it's very clear. Now, the question is, when we travel, do we fast or not fast, or what is better? So, عن جابر بن عبد الله رضي الله عنه أن رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم خرج عام الفتح إلى مكة في رمضان فصام حتى بلغ قراع الغميم فصام الناس ثم دعا بقدح من ماء فرفعه حتى نظر الناس إليه ثم شرب فقيل له بعد ذلك إن بعض الناس قد صام قال أولئك العصاة أولئك العصاة. وفي لفظ فقيل له إن الناس قد شق عليهم الصيام وإنما ينظرون فيما فعلت فدعا بقدح من ماء بعد العصر فشرب. So Jabir radiallahu anhu reports the Prophet alayhi salatu wassalam when he departed in the year of Fatih Makkah. So that was which year?
10.
8th year of Hijrah. Right? And when did he depart Medina? He left on the 10th day of Ramadan. So it took him a few days before they arrived in Mecca. So they were fasting till they arrived close to Asfan, which is closer to Mecca, a town called Qura al-Ghamim. So people were still fasting, but the Prophet ﷺ was told that people are finding hardship in fasting and they're just copying you. So it was time after Asr, and yet the Prophet ﷺ asked for a cup of water, so he raised it so everyone can see it, and then he drank of it. Then he was told that some people are still fasting. Said these are the disobedience. So these are the disobedience, meaning that everyone has to follow what the Prophet ﷺ did. That shows that fasting is allowable because the Prophet ﷺ fasted. And breaking a fast is also allowable. So what is better? So حمزة بن عمرو الأسلمي قال يا رسول الله أجد بي قوة على الصيام في السفر فهل علي جناح؟ فقال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم هي رخصة من الله فمن أخذ بها فحسن ومن أحب أن يصوم فلا جناح عليه. So Amr al-Aslami asked the Prophet ﷺ, I find strength and I'm capable of fasting while I'm traveling. Is there a problem with that? The Prophet ﷺ said, it is a concession and ease from Allah. So whoever takes it, it is good. But whoever wants to fast, then there is no problem with that. So, what is better, to fast or not to fast? That is the question.
Personal.
So personal. So if someone can fast or...
إن الله في next
الحديث الآخر ليس من البر الصيام في السفر.
So ليس من البر الصيام في السفر. So one of the Sahaba companions also during that trip, he he passed out actually, and people were doing CPR on him, trying to get him back. So the Prophet ﷺ said, لَيْسَ مِنَ الْبِرِّ الصِّيَامُ فِي السَّفَرِ, meaning for that person, the person who is not capable of fasting, shouldn't be fasting. So there is a huge debate whether what is better to fast or not. And Umar bin Abdul Aziz probably nailed it down, and he said, أَعْزَمُهُمَا أَيْسَرُهُمَا. So the best thing to do is whatever is easier for you to do. Why? Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the same ayah says, يُرِيدُ اللَّهُ بِكُمُ الْيُسْرَ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants you to do what's easy on you. He wants you to go through the easy process, basically. So if someone is easier for them to fast, it's better for them to fast. And if someone, it's easier for them not to fast, it's better not to fast. Example. A lot of time find it easier to fast with other people or to fast, all the days in a row. So to break a fast in the middle of Ramadan and to start over, they might find it harder. But some people say, you know what, it is August, it is July, and if I make up for them in January, it might be easier, right? So for that person, it is better not to fast. Is that clear? No matter what opinion you follow, that issue has been beaten up with discussion, and no one should make their opinion as the better opinion. For the Prophet ﷺ, accepted both opinions, and Anas radiallahu anhu said we took out with the Prophet ﷺ. And some people were fasting, some people were not fasting, and no one criticized what the others did. Everyone accepted, meaning they're both valid, and everyone on their personal circumstances can judge and decide what's best for them. وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وآله والحمد لله رب العالمين. في واحد.
When the Prophet ﷺ left Medina until he reached that town, Bulugh al Maram, that was Ramadan. That took him a few days of fasting.
Yeah.
So he fasted for a few days, and then he was told that some of us.
Exactly.
So he did fast a few days.
Yeah, but some people were still not fasting even during that time. But the majority were fasting because the Prophet was fasting. So.
And then, of course, when he announced it in public, then
it was an order, basically.
Exactly.
So breaking the fast, do you?
No, في two people أبلغ. تفضل. No, في someone before you.
How do you define travel?
What?
How do you define travel?
Jazakallahu khairan. That's a very good question. So, Siyamu, we talked about that when we talked about قصر الصلاة. ما يصح فيه الفطر هو ما يصح فيه القصر. Right? And long story short, some people, any travel out of town where you leave town and there is no urban areas, that's considered a travel. If you want to have a measurement, some people want real numbers. It is basically about 49 miles, right? 81 kilometers. I think 81 kilometers, 49 miles, right? Yeah, so that's the travel. And the duration we talked about before, that according to the Ahnaf, Allahu A'lam, and this seems to be the strong opinion, it's 15 days. According to the Shafi'iyya, it's the 3 days plus يوم الخروج ويوم الدخول, right? And for the Hanabila, in أقمت أربعا فصلي أربعا, meaning at the 3 days. Anything above 3 days, you cannot shorten the salah and you cannot break the fast. And according to the Malikiyya, it's 3 days as well. So, any travel beyond 81 kilometers, more or less.
51
51
miles.
50 miles. Easy. If you take off to Galveston, but there has to be interruption of the urban areas. It's very important because now you can drive from Clear Lake to Katy and you're still in Houston, but you're still within the boundaries of town. That does not count as travel. وانقطع العمران. There has to be انقطاع في العمران. Does that make sense?
I think when you go to Galveston, ما في انقطاع عمران.
في.
So
Where?
The Texas City.
Texas City. Same travel as for the prayers. It's not different.
ما السفر هو ما يصح به القصر يصح به الفطر. Does that make sense? It's the same thing.
On the previous hadith, when you said that if somebody is fasting and forgetful and eats, then it's a gift from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So what if somebody is watching him and he has a piece of meat in his mouth and he reminds him you're fasting? Now in this situation, do you follow? Or so is it better to remind him while he's eating, or just wait and let him eat and then?
Right. So the first question, what do you do if you see a person forgetting and eating? It's just like when you see someone, when you're in the salah and someone is making a mistake in the salah, what do?
You correct him.
You correct him, and same thing with the siyam. The only exception, if someone who doesn't have to fast, meaning like a small kid, not mukallaf, then it is okay, you pass it on for him. But if you see an adult that is forgetting, you tell him that you're fasting, right?
So you don't bring him more, huh?
Yeah, and that person has to spit it out. So that's the second question. Exactly, but let it pass it on for him, and it doesn't work
We've
that
been
way.
talking that if you don't like that person, wait until he's half swallowing it.
Yeah, it happens more with water than with
Yeah.
food usually.
Right.
Check
Except for
during
women
air
and
travel,
kids.
if you are traveling in a plane, how to break fast? How do you find out the timing?
Exactly. That's what makes it better for a plane to break your fast.
So, because you don't know the tayyara, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I found this actually very useful with recent travels. Some of the airlines actually, they put on the screen actually, like Qatar Airways and Emirates. They put the time for the prayer. So it's very helpful, I found it, because a lot of times with Isha and with Fajr especially, you cannot tell. So they announce it on the screen, so that's good. The other thing is, you can ask the stewardess to ask the pilot, and they can tell you actually. If you don't want to do that, you just estimate, and you look through the window, and when it's sundown, you can tell. Yeah. And this is a very practical question actually. If you're traveling, should be en route in order to break the fast, or can you break the fast before you leave? You can break the fast as long as you're embarking on the travel, right? So once you take off to the airport, you can, break your fast, and that is valid.
You mean not at home?
Once you have to engage in travel, meaning you depart. So the companion, once he mounted his horse, he broke his fast, and he said, this is the sunnah. But some people say you have to be en route. You don't have to be actually. Once you engage in travel, meaning you can do it at home so long it is a certain travel. إذا تأكد السفر.
I mean, I have the niyyah, right? I have the niyyah. My luggage are packed. I have my tickets.
Right.
I
Then you break your fast and leave.
I can just at home just have a full breakfast as any other day, because you
have to start the travel.
Yeah, but that fast won't count, right?
It wouldn't count, of course.
His question, but I think if you want to fast while traveling, he's asking about.
Right, I answered his question. Now we're moving to a related matter. Anything else?
I have a question regarding the breaking fast due to hardship. So some people by profession say like soccer ball, those players have to play in the Ramadan, they have no excuse. So what they do?
Later. I was going to leave this hadith for tomorrow.
Inshallah.
قال وعن ابن عباس رضي الله عنه قال رخص للشيخ الكبير أن يفطر ويطعم عن كل يوم مسكينا ولا قضاء عليه. So the Prophet ﷺ said, it's been given a concession to an older person to break their fast, and then in return, to make up for that, feed a needy person. So these الذين يطيقونه, meaning they find hardship, anyone who has hardship, extreme hardship in fasting, if they cannot make up for it, they feed a needy person. If they're able to make up for it, then they have to do that. This is the mind, for example. If someone is sick and they can make up for it. Yani some, let's say, was ill, they went to the hospital, and it has to be illness that precludes you from fasting, then they can break their fast, they make up for it. Now for the people, ashabul al-a'dar, if someone has extreme hardship, and let's say in the older days, old days, the bakers, like they're by the oven all day long, and it is impossible for them. I mean, they would have heat exhaustion, right? They can die. So we tell them, you fast as long as you can, and when you cannot, you break your fast. Okay? And then you make up for it when you're able. The soccer player business, we tell them a lot of these games, you know, you're traveling, so it is okay to do it because you're traveling. Some scholars, I know in certain countries they gave him fatwa that they can break the fast, and they can use that fatwa.
The famous ones, like Muhammad Salah, for example, it's publicized that they do fast.
Right.
And it's very common now
Benzema
that
also
exactly,
fasted.
Benzema and others.
Yeah.
So it's publicized that they do fast. That's number one. Number two, especially in Europe and maybe in other countries as well, that at Maghrib time they stop for like 10 minutes or like 5 minutes,
Right.
and the coach, not the coach, the hakam,
The referee.
knows the time and he's told that you need to stop for.
Right. And Hakim used to fast while he was playing basketball.
And Hakim and as well as well.
And many others. So,
So it became part of da'wah now to fast in Ramadan,
Right,
and
right.
you score games.
if someone wants to use that other fatwa, it is there. That's not what I do, so or what I would recommend.
But you don't play soccer.
هذا لازم يقضي ويطعم ويقضي، يعني يختلف عن الكبير.
نعم، فيها خلاف الأكل، منهم من قال يقضي، منهم من قال يقضي ويدفع الكفارة. it's coming إن شاء الله. حاجتكم
جزاك الله خيرا.
وجزاكم الله.